would like to welcome you to Inspire to Rewire, the podcast that invites you to question everything, to challenge the status quo and rediscover the power within you, to create the life that you truly deserve. My name is Sharona Sinvani, and in each episode, we dive into transformative conversations that will inspire you to break free from old patterns, expand your mindset, and unlock your limitless potential. Everything from unveiling the hidden truth about society to exploring new perspectives. This podcast is your gateway to living life on your own terms. So whether you're looking to elevate your career, heal from past wounds, broaden your outlook, or transform your mindset, this is the space where growth happens. If you're ready to embrace change and step into your power and become the best version of yourself, I invite you to join me on Inspire to Rewire. Hi to all my brothers and sisters out there tuning in for today's episode of Inspire to Rewire. I am your host, Sharona, and as always, I am so grateful that you are here and spending your time with me. Today's message is simple, yet very complicated for many. But I truly believe that it's one that we all need to hear, and especially in a world that is so obsessed with hustling, grinding, and performing. I think that rest is revolutionary. Not just radical, it's actually necessary. So if you've been feeling tired lately and uninspired, emotionally heavy, this episode is a loving reminder that you are not lazy. We live in a culture that glorifies doing and productivity. Productivity is actually praised, and overworking has become normalized. We've been so conditioned to associate our worth with how much we produce and how much we give and how much we actually push. But have you ever stopped to wonder what happens when we stop pushing? What happens if we would tune in more to our bodies and hear when our body says, not today. I actually need a moment. I need to slow down. I think most of us actually panic and we start to feel guilty. I've seen this in my own life, and I've seen this in, the people around me, where productivity is something that is a norm and rest is very abnormal. And when people rest, they feel very guilty. So when they're actually resting, they're not really resting because their mind is working. I know it from my own experience. I've done it myself. Rest has been something I needed to learn how to do. I thought I was resting many times and phases of my life, but I was actually not resting. My mind was going and I wasn't able to enjoy the moment of rest because I was thinking about all the things that I needed to do or needed to get done. I couldn't be present in the moment of just resting. And life is about balance. I don't have a problem being productive. I'm a very ambitious person, as many of us are. The problem for me was to just rest. Meditation has been a great tool for me to learn to be more present and actually aware of what goes on in my mind, which has given me the opportunity in these moments when I actually take a breather or decide to have a day where I just kick back and relax, to become more aware of that I'm actually not in a rest state. So that was a journey for me to learn how to rest and actually be okay with it without feeling guilty or feeling like I needed to get things done. I actually needed to look at things from a helicopter perspective and be like, when you're not resting, you don't have a problem with being productive. So when you now are resting, it's okay. You can rest and you can enjoy this rest, because when you feel like your batteries are charged, you will get back up on the horse and do what needs to be done. I have learned, throughout my own healing journey that rest is not the opposite of progress. Rest is actually a part of it. And the more we rest, the more we lean into certain things, the more things unfold to our favor. I know I spoke about this in the episode of manifestation. When we decide not to control the outcome, when we let go of certain things. Not that we're not going to take actions, because I think that life is about taking aligned actions towards what we want to accomplish or achieve or create, but also having balance within that, to learn to know that when it's time for me to let go and let the universe do its magic, and also for me to get a chance to recharge myself, because it takes a lot of energy to always be in a productive mode and always create. So I think it's in moments when we relax, not only our bodies, but even our minds, I think that even more creativity or, solutions to the problem we might face actually come in these states when we are capable of just kicking back and doing nothing. Balance is key. I can't stress this enough. It's key in all facets of life. And sometimes rest is the most spiritual, productive, and loving thing you can offer yourself. Sometimes rest is exactly the key to your own success. Because the truth is, rest isn't just about sleep. It's about safety. It's about letting your nervous system soften. It's about giving your inner child the love and space they maybe never got. It's about taking care of the version of yourself today that is always productive and maybe always taking care of other people and being here and there and everywhere at the same time to just take care of you. I think it's important for some people to actually have one day a week where you just plan to do nothing. Maybe that day is only about you taking care of you, having a little bit of a spa day, or maybe, having a day where you just rest in bed or wake up later, whatever it might be. I see that, over social media, everywhere, it's just like, I'm not saying anything about it because I don't think it's a bad thing to have like good and healthy routines. I think that that's, your habits becomes your lifestyle. The routines you create for yourself is going to determine where your life goes. So I am all for it. But once in a while, if not maybe once a week, you need to rest. You need to calm down. And I think it's so important to calm down and relax. You become more in tune with yourself and actually listen to what your body, mind, and soul is saying. It's about telling your body and your mind and your soul that, I see you and I hear you and I am not going to abandon you no more. And whatever I need in this moment, I'm going to give it to me. Sometimes you might have planned that you are going to have a productive day, but that day is not, you're not feeling, 100% energized, or you're feeling very heavy or tired. Then I think that that's exactly what you should give to yourself. Maybe if you plan to do 5 things, do one of them. And then just listen to your body and be in tune with what it needs and give that to yourself without any guilt, without any shame. I have learned that healing is not linear. It doesn't come on a schedule. Sometimes healing looks like doing the inner work. Other times it looks like laying in bed and turning off the phone and canceling plans, even if it's in last minute. Sometimes it's crying. Sometimes it's laughing. Sometimes it's journaling or doing absolutely nothing. And whatever it is, that's okay. No day is the same as the other. No phase is the same. We're going through different seasons, just as nature in the world. Seasons happen, phases happen, situations happen, and just learn to flow with it. And nobody knows you better than yourself. And what your body and your mind and your soul is telling you, the moment you stop is the moment you will hear. When you don't do this, you become unbalanced and you are going to create diseases in your body. Maybe you will start to feel pain, or you will start to get sick, or, whatever it is. Life is about balance, and rest is sacred. And in this world, we are told to go, 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 go. I'm telling you, rest is revolutionary. So if you've been tired, mentally, physically, or spiritually, this is your permission to slow down, to honor the pause, to trust that you're not wasting time. You're restoring your essence. The world doesn't need more burned out souls trying to save it. The world needs more regulated, rested, rooted humans who are living from a place of alignment and wholeness. So take that nap. Take that break. Take your energy back. Because you're not behind. You're exactly where you are supposed to be. Trust your own journey, because your journey is holy. I want to thank you all for being here with me and spending this time with me today. And thank you for being open to the things that I present and that I come with. I try to share my own journey as I go and the things that I learn throughout my own process as I go through these things. I am just like everyone else out there. I have seasons and I have phases and I have days. Some days are harder than others and some days are easier. Sometimes I'm in flow and sometimes I'm noticing that I have resistance in my life too. And in these moments, I realize how important it is for me to just stop and ask myself, like, what is going on? Why is these things happening, or why am I feeling the way I'm feeling? I had to learn to lean into when life told me to just stop. It hasn't always been easy. It's been a journey for me. And, as an entrepreneur and trying to create my own things, and, I want to be the change in the world that I want to see. And I'm trying to transpire that in all facets of my own life. So I want to do things that I stand behind and that I actually believe in. I don't want to do things just to do them to make money. I want to do something that I'm proud over to share with the world that will actually create an impact or have a good impact on the souls and the earth. And I know that sometimes things can get very overwhelming, at least for me. Sometimes I can feel the weight on my shoulders and it can be overbearing at times. It's so easy to, when you're around people who are like-minded or who shares the same maybe ideas or visions or, the same lifestyle or the same creation or whatever, there's totally different communication within that. There's a totally different understanding. And sometimes when we walk our journeys, we can feel very lonely because we don't feel like other people are going through what we are going through or really understanding our own process, because we can see, we learn so much through our relationships. I know I've said this before and I'm going to keep saying it because it's such a valuable lesson there. There are so many different ways to take care of oneself, and I think that rest is one of them. And I think it's very underrated in today's world. And I have noticed that it's something that people have it's a very big challenge for people to just do nothing and just be with their own selves. This is another way I think that meditation is a great tool, to just I know people are very stressed because of life and the life circumstances, but just to get 5 or 10 minutes of meditation in every day, I think could be of high value to your body, mind, and soul. And when you rest your whole, system, like you are creating a whole inner reality for yourself. And for myself, I notice such a difference the days I do meditate. And sometimes I'm stressed and maybe I don't, meditation kind of like is something I jump over and skip. And I say I do it later in the afternoon. And when I do that, I can notice a difference within my day if I started with meditation versus if I don't. Me personally, I like to meditate 2 or 3 times a day. And I'm trying to incorporate longer meditations because it gives me so much clarity and it recharges me so much. And it has been a journey for me. Meditation in the beginning for me was very, very difficult because my mind was running 1,000 miles an hour. And that could be very overbearing at times. How do I calm my mind? Yeah, damn. But you learn as you go. And the more, the more consistency you have in life with these things that is actually challenging, the more you overcome them. And the more you overcome and master these things, the more empowered you become. And, you learn that the things that once was hard actually became easy. So me doing, mastering the next challenge that I might face in my life won't be as hard or difficult because I've gone through the process a few times in other aspects of my life. So I'm like, okay, let's do this. I'm not totally drained by facing it. I see the benefits of doing it because I see what awaits for me on the other side. So I do hope that rest is something that more people will value and will do and incorporate more in your daily lifestyle or weekly lifestyle, and not be too consumed of what everyone on the social pages are showing you that they're doing. No one is living like you might see on social pages. This is a creation, and we are portraying maybe certain things on these pages that are not really 100% genuine or authentic. And I think we live in the world where we are very much comparing ourselves towards others, and we are thinking that we are maybe not doing as good because we see how other people are moving and what they're portraying or what they're showing off that they're doing. Authenticity is not as common as we would like to think. And the more authentic you become with yourself, I think this is something you see more of in the world. Everything always starts with you, inside of you. The more calmer you become, the more authentic you become, the more true you become, and the more loving and caring you become, you will just start to see the world differently. And that's a beautiful gift. It's such a little liberation. So I hope you stop and rest more and actually feel more what your body and mind and soul needs and heart, and that you respect that and show that care towards yourself. Thank you so much for joining me and listening to this episode. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with someone who needs the reminder, and show up for yourself in every aspect of your life. Until next time, be gentle with yourself. Thank you. Namaste. Thank you all for taking the time to listen to this episode of Inspired to Rewire. If you enjoyed today's conversation, please take a moment to rate and review the podcast. It truly helps us to reach more incredible listeners just like you. I have more listeners every month than I have subscribers, and having more subscribers helps me invest more time into creating content for this podcast. So if you haven't already, I'd be so grateful if you would subscribe to the channel. As many of you already know, I believe in an I&I unity, so let's come together and create a better world for all of us. Thank you for tuning in on another episode, and until next time, keep growing, keep evolving, and keep rewiring your mindset. Namaste.